Okay, what if you're asked to graph a linear equation using a table of values? Well, this is a fairly straightforward task. My advice for you is, given any equation, we know that it's linear based on all of our attributes. We can put this thing in standard form. Can we decide if it's linear? My advice, if you're going to graph using a table of values, is to go ahead and solve it for y. Solve for y first. Now that's going to take it out of standard form, but when you're putting it into a table of values, it makes it so much easier. So what does 4x minus 2y equals 6 look like when we solve it for y? Well, the first thing is we have to move this 4x over here. And so then we would have negative 2y equals negative 4x plus 6. We've almost solved it for y. And now we just have to divide everybody by negative 2. And so we have this equation, y equals 2x minus 3. These are the same equations, they're just in different forms. This is in standard form, well, almost standard form. We'd have to divide everybody by 2. And this is not in standard form, but it's still a linear equation. And now the task is to graph this equation using a table of values. So y equals 2x minus 3. That's what we're dealing with. We have solved it for y first. Okay. So I'm going to make a table of values. I'm just going to make a t-chart here, and I'm going to keep track of some x values, and I have my equation solved for y equals 2x minus 3, and then I'm going to keep track of my y values. This is inputs, some math happens, outputs. So my advice for you is to use these numbers in your domain for your x values. And now you're just going to substitute x in this equation with these given domain. So I need to do 2 times negative 1 and subtract 3. That's negative 2 minus 3, that's negative 5. I need to do 2 times 0 minus 3, that's 0 minus 3. And then I need to do 2 times 1, and I need to subtract 3. So that's positive 2 minus 3, that's negative 1. That gives us some ordered pairs, negative 1 and negative 5. That's one of my ordered pairs. It gives me the ordered pair 0, negative 3, and it also gives me 1, negative 1. Now I can go ahead and graph those ordered pairs. So if I look at this coordinate plane right here, and I try to plot those ordered pairs, let me move this up a little bit. So that means if I go to negative 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I put a point right there, 0, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, negative 1. Now, all I need to do is connect those, and my advice is to use a straight edge. Don't try to do this without a ruler. Use a straight edge of some sort to connect the dots. Put arrowheads on either side to say that this is a line and not just a line segment. We have just graphed the equation y equals 2x minus 3 through the use of a table of values.